Hi guys and welcome back to the Mighty Blues. My name is of course Cameron and welcome back today to another live stream. I hope you all are doing really well. It is Friday morning. Hope you all have had a fantastic week and are looking forward to the weekend. Everton of course playing our last pre-season friendly tomorrow afternoon against Manchester United at Old Trafford. The first time a lot of Evertonians will be able to watch Everton in the flesh for quite a while, actually, since obviously the last home game of the season against Wolves, and a good test for Everton to go out tomorrow and face not only a Premier League side but a really good Premier League side at that, a Premier League side who have strengthened their squad so far this summer. And we'll be looking to try and challenge Manchester City and Chelsea for the Premier League title next season. Certainly given some of the signings that those two clubs have made as well. So a massive test for Everton tomorrow against Manchester United. And an opportunity for Rafael Benitez to show us the different styles that Everton can play in. Show us how Everton are likely to line up for the opening game of the season against Southampton on the 14th of August. Maybe, whether that be players, whether that be a system, whether that be a formation, and just show us what we can expect from at least the first few weeks of the Premier League season. Typically, they say, don't they, that the side that lines up against in the last pre-season friendly, the team that starts in the last pre-season friendly is typically the team that will play in the opening Premier League game of the season. Now that might be the case tomorrow with Rafa Benitez. We might see Dominic Calvert-Lewin starting. We know Dom's been back in training for the last week, of course. He'll have had 2 weeks full training before the game against Southampton next week. We might see obviously Andros Townsend in there, Demarai Gray again, Moise Keane of course. The only player we know we won't see for the definite is Richarlison, as he is playing in the Olympics final. I believe it's tonight or maybe tomorrow night, to potentially win Olympic gold for Brazil. So we know we won't see Richarlison tomorrow, and we know we won't see Richarlison, to be fair, for the opening couple of weeks of the Premier League season, because he'll have to go and have a little break and have a holiday and stuff, of course, coming up back from playing in the Copa America for Brazil, and then of course playing in the Olympics for Brazil as well, so he hasn't had a rest whatsoever. But it is a good test and a good opportunity for us to, again, like I said, watch Everton against a really good Manchester United side and see how we can cope and see how we can, stick in there and hopefully get a result out of that game. And then of course we go into the opening game of the season next week against Southampton, and that is the topic of this live stream, the opening game of the season. Finally, we've got some clarity on what's going on, what the situation is, whether we'll all be able to return to Goodison Park, whether we won't all be able to return to Goodison Park. I think before yesterday, when the club released a statement, it was all very much sort of the assumption that was we'll all be returning to Goodison Park, but there wasn't ever anything in writing. We were all sort of up in the air as to what's going to happen, whether it'll be a specific amount of fans, whether it'll be every fan, whether it'll just be season ticket holders. We didn't really know, did we? But Everton did release a statement yesterday that just detailed everything that we needed to know regarding the opening game of the season against Southampton, and it was a statement that I think had a lot of us excited, let's just say that, to say the least. So we'll read the statement out now. Everton have said that the removal of social distancing regulations means that for the first time since March 2020, Goodison Park will be fully open to fans for the opening game of the new season. The familiar roar of the Everton faithful in a full Goodison Park for the visit of Southampton on Saturday, the 14th of August, with a 3 p.m. kickoff, will mark the commencement of the 2021-2022 season, and it is something everybody at Everton is counting down the days for, including all of us as fans. I cannot wait. It's 10 days now away? No, not even that, 8 days away, a week tomorrow, which is just absolutely unbelievable. They also said that all season ticket members and match ticket purchasers will be able to attend without social distancing regulations in place, and will be provided with the necessary guidance relating to COVID-19 protocols ahead of match day to ensure the match day is as safe as possible for all supporters. As part of these measures to maximise safety, minimise the risk of transmission of COVID-19 and follow government guidance and Premier League protocols, fans should be prepared to present if asked when entering the stadium. So fans should be prepared to present if asked when entering the stadium their COVID-19 vaccination status or proof of a negative COVID-19 test within 48 hours of the match. So from that would be Thursday afternoon at 3 o'clock to obviously Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock as well. So somewhere in between then, if you haven't had both vaccinations and you can't prove that, then you will have to have had, or you be prepared to be asked for a negative test. It doesn't confirm that you've got to have had one, but I think if you go in the game and you haven't had both vaccinations, it's probably best to have a negative test because you're probably going to be asked for it. They also said that fans can learn about how to link their vaccination record to the NHS app here, and they leave a link for anybody to go and see. It then goes on to say supporters should also bring a face covering to wear in the stadium in line with the government guidance on gatherings in enclosed places and should arrive at the stadium in good time. All payments inside the stadium will be contactless to speed movement through concourses and minimise contact at all points of sale. The fan zone will not be in use for the opening games of the season. This is in order for the club to accommodate additional changing room facilities at the park end of the stadium for visiting teams as part of the Premier League's protocols to maintain a bubble for players and staff. The statement then goes on to say the Sir Philip Carteret Park end will only be accessible via Goodison Road for the Southampton fixture, with the Sir Philip Carteret Park end stand open for fans from 75 minutes prior to kick-off. The matchday hub based at Everton Free School will also not be in operation for the Southampton match for the 2021-2022 season. The club has introduced digital season tickets as an additional option for stadium entry. For those supporters who have opted to have their season ticket in their mobile wallet on their Android or Apple phone, the tickets will be distributed via email from Monday the 8th of August, which is obviously... that's not right. Monday's the 9th of August. So Monday the 9th of August. The email will include clear instructions on how to add the digital season ticket to a mobile wallet. It then goes on to say, as part of the matchday code of conduct, supporters should not attend Goodison if they have returned a positive COVID-19 test within 10 days of the Southampton fixture. If they have any COVID symptoms, including a high temperature, new contagious cough, or a loss of sense of taste or smell, or if they are required to self-isolate. To read the full code of conduct, click here, and then it leads a link to the full code of conduct, which you can go and check out. So there you go. That is all of the information that we need to know regarding the return to Goodison Park on Saturday the 14th of August, which is absolutely unbelievable, and I can't wait myself. I've seen a lot of people talking about COVID tests and which test you need to take and what test is best to take. Everton Fan Services did tweet out this morning that supporters who need to take a lateral flow test to attend Goodison Park for the visit of Southampton on the 14th of August can order here, and they actually tweeted a link out for the government website for you to be able to go on, order a lateral flow test completely free. And get that sent here in due course. I think it takes 2 or 3 days to come to your house, and then obviously you take it within 48 hours of the game, which is as stated. And Everton Fan Services have tweeted out a number of tweets over the last 24 hours or so regarding learning more about how to link your vaccination record to the NHS app and all of that good stuff as well. So if you don't follow them on Twitter, go over and follow them, and you'll get all of the relevant information you need for returning to Goodison Park on Saturday. Danboy says lateral flow or PCR. I believe it's lateral flow, mate. That is what Everton Fan Services have said on Twitter. They have said that it is that you can order a lateral flow test to take within 48 hours. I believe it is a lateral flow. Like I said, all of that information is on Twitter, both from Everton and Everton Fan Services, so you'll be able to check that out. So yeah, exciting times. A full Goodison Park for the first time since March 2020. Over a year, 16, 18 months, something like that, since we witnessed a full capacity Goodison Park. And look, obviously things will be a little bit different, as mentioned there. The club have asked us to bring a mask because of the government guidelines around large groups of people gathering in sort of condensed areas. So we may have to wear a mask, which obviously is very different to what we're used to typically with going the match. Again, like I said, contactless payments only, and obviously I'm sure that the ordering of your beverages and scran of a half time or prior to the game. I'm sure it won't be like typical Goodison Park where you're standing there for 45 minutes waiting for a pie and a pint. I'm sure it'll be dead quick and it'll be going through it'll be going through and obviously in a quick manner to try and get everybody through as quick as possible. But other than those little bits, and obviously needing to provide your proof of vaccination status or a negative test, which again is understandable. I personally think everybody should have had to provide a negative test because, again, I'm not going to get into the politics of things. I'm not anti-vax or anything like that, of course not. But, from what I've known, that people who've got the vaccination still can pick up the virus. So I think it just makes sense if everybody provided a negative test. But there you go. But other than those bits, we'll all be back at Goodison Park. And yeah, it will be absolutely amazing, of course. I've got no doubt in my mind that there will be tears shed. I've got absolutely no doubt whatsoever. Again, obviously we've had a couple of opportunities here and there over the last 12-18 months to be back at Goodison Park. The games against Arsenal and Chelsea last December. Obviously we had the final game of the season against Wolves, which was in front of a select amount of fans at Goodison Park. Obviously the Manchester United game tomorrow, there'll be a whole load of Evertonians, but this is the first time that we'll have seen a full Goodison Park for, like I said, the best part of 16-18 months, which is just... It's mad. It's absolutely mad to think about, and I absolutely can't wait. I can't even begin to imagine what the atmosphere is going to be like on Saturday the 14th of August. I really, really can't. I just think it'll be, unlike anything we've ever seen before, because the majority of Evertonians, including myself, haven't been to Goodison Park. There was some lucky Blues that got the opportunity to go to Goodison, during December or for the last home game of the season against Wolves, and, got to see Everton during this sort of mad period of life that we're in at the moment. But a lot of Evertonians didn't get the chance to go and see Everton. A lot of Evertonians didn't have that luxury, so this will be the first time that a lot of Blues, like I said, including myself, will be returning to Goodison Park since that game against Manchester United where we were robbed of a win in the last moment. If only someone would have told us, when Chris Kavanagh decided to disallow a perfectly good goal for no reason whatsoever other than the fact he didn't want Manchester United to lose, if only somebody would have grabbed us at the gates leaving that stadium, leaving Goodison Park fuming on that day, and said, this is the last time you're going to be in this stadium for, maybe 18 months. You won't be able to watch Everton again live in the flesh for 18 months. I think we'd have all left the stadium a little bit more grateful than worrying about, a decision that was made on the pitch. And it's mad because now, we're back and, the club have released the information, all barring that nothing changes from the government in the next, week or so, which again I wouldn't put it past the government, but at this point I don't think things will change. We'll all be back at Goodison Park and we'll all be back watching the Blues, hopefully watching the likes of James Rodriguez in an Everton shirt. I said it on Wednesday's live stream. Even if James Rodriguez is to leave the football club, which looks like a possibility at the moment, I still really, really hope that that he gets to witness a full capacity Goodison Park, screaming and shouting and getting behind this team, because I think it's an experience that not a lot of footballers are able to witness, including a footballer of the ilk of James Rodriguez, who has been all around the world and played all around the world and played in World Cups and Champions League finals and this, that and the other. I really hope he gets to witness what it's like to play at Goodison Park, because I don't care if you've played for Real Madrid, I don't care if you've played for Bayern Munich, I don't care if you've played in a World Cup semi-final. Nothing, and I mean nothing, comes close to Goodison Park when it's roaring Goodison Park, when we're all up for it, when we're all getting behind the players, when we're all getting on the backs of the opposition, when we're all fighting for Everton Football Club. Nothing compares to that whatsoever. Not bothered if it's biased, not bothered if it's emotion, I don't care. Nothing comes close to that whatsoever. So I really, really, really hope that James Rodriguez gets to witness that. I hope that Dominic Calvert-Lewin really saves it. We know he's a player who's openly spoken about missing the fans. Seamus Coleman, Luca Dean has spoken about how, Everton's like being an Everton Football Club's like a beautiful wedding, and not having the fans there has been, really, really upsetting over the last sort of season or so. So Don't get it twisted. These players will thrive off Everton fans returning to Goodison Park, and these players will thrive off that support. The new boys, obviously, Andros Townsend, Damari Gray, obviously Asmir Begovic as well. Let's not forget Alan Abdoulaye Doucouré, Ben Godfrey never witnessed a full Goodison Park. Never. Ben Godfrey. Imagine Ben Godfrey when he throws in one of those vintage slide tackles on the halfway line and the entirety of Goodison Park is up screaming and shouting and getting behind him, he'll be throwing tackles in like that every 2 seconds. He already does it 3-4 times a game without fans in the stadium. Imagine when he puts one of them tackles in and everybody gets off the seat and everybody's screaming. He's going to be looking around going, bloody hell, he's loved this. He's absolutely loved this. I'm going to do it again. It really, really gets me emotional talking about it. It does, because, you know, again, it's been a long time since we've been at Goodison Park, a long time. Certainly, you know, since we've been at Goodison Park as a collective, as a, you know, 38,000, 40,000 Evertonians screaming and shouting on the Blues. It's been far too long, and to think that the return is only, you know, a week and a day away is madness. I live 10 minutes away from Goodison Park in that direction, so if I had X-ray vision like some sort of superhero, I'd be able to see Goodison Park by just sitting here. The last time I was actually in Goodison Park was for the Goodison Park sleep out, which was ironically the week after the Manchester United game, I believe, and the week of the game against Chelsea, where we got absolutely battered away from home. Jedi says the last game we played where fans were in the stadium, we lost 4-0 away at the Bridge against Chelsea. Yeah, that was the weekend of the Goodison Park sleep out. So the last time I actually sat on my seat at Goodison Park was at about 1:30 in the morning, when I was scratching my head thinking, how do I get to sleep here? Which is mad. It's baffling, because that seems like absolutely years ago. Well, it was years ago that we went and had that fantastic experience. So it's mad. It's absolutely mad, but it's real. It very much is a reality. We will be returning to Goodison Park next week, albeit, like I said, hopefully everybody that has got a ticket, season ticket or non-ticket, you know, as either proof of vaccination status or gets a negative test. It'll be gutting at this point if somebody ends up picking up a positive test and they're not able to go. So hopefully, if everything goes smoothly, we'll all get to see the Blues again. And like I said, that atmosphere at Goodison Park, I just don't think that there'll be anything that'll compare to it for the entire season. I don't think we'll match that atmosphere. You've got the best part of maybe 30,000 Evertonians who haven't been to Goodison or haven't watched Everton Football Club play at Goodison Park or in any stadium for, like I said, the best part of 16, 18 months. The emotion will be absolutely through the roof. I think Rafa Benitez will get a belter reception, if I'm being honest with you. I've seen some fans on Twitter say, oh, it's going to be funny when we return to Goodison Park and fans are booing Rafa Benitez. Nobody will be booing Rafa Benitez on Saturday. Nobody, mark my words. And if you're going to Goodison with the intention of booing Rafa Benitez, then you need to give your head a little bit of a wobble, really, because, like I said, we haven't been to it for 18 months. So Rafa Benitez, I'm not saying go out there and sing his name or cheer him, whatever, but I don't think booing should come into any sort of discussion whatsoever when returning to Goodison next week, because you've just absolutely got to enjoy and savour being back, and appreciate as well being back at Goodison Park, because we never know what's round the corner. We don't know if, you know, and again, touch wood, this doesn't happen, but we don't know if after the first round of Premier League fixtures, the government come out and say, no, that's not happening again because this, that and the other, so, you know, no fans in the stadium for the entire season, and then we don't know how that'd go and how long that'd be for, so we really, really don't know what's round the corner. So if for those that are going back to Goodison Park on the 14th, just savour and appreciate it, and like I said, you know, stand in your seat, even if it's for 10, 15, 20 minutes after the game, and just realise what it means to us all, and what Everton means to us all, and what watching Everton live in the flesh means to us all, because I can't sit here and I can't sit here and express enough how difficult it's been watching Everton play at Goodison, and I'm watching it sat in my house, because that's just not what I'm used to. I'm used to watching the game at the ground. I'm used to watching the game with 40,000 other Evertonians there screaming and shouting. I can't express to you how difficult it's been sitting watching Everton and having to listen to some nonsense commentators who haven't got a clue about football talking about Everton. It's ridiculous, with no atmosphere in the stadium whatsoever. I just can't wait. I absolutely can't wait. Let's get into some of the live comments then. Anyway, before we move on, if you're enjoying the scene, please do hit that like button. If you're watching live, get your thoughts in the live comments. Really, really want to hear what everybody has to say on this one. I'm sure this will be a very emotional stream for a lot of people. Like I said, if you're enjoying, please do hit that big thumbs up button. It only takes a second, and it massively, massively helps out the stream as well. Massively, massively helps out the channel. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. We did hit 4.8k yesterday, I believe, 4,800 subscribers, so a massive thank you to everybody for hitting that subscribe button. I really, really do appreciate it. The support means a massive amount to me. Dan Boy says Mr. Benitez will be getting a huge cheer or a big cheer from me. Is right, Dan. Bright says question answer is here. Not too sure what that means. Damon says, seen a post saying we are odds-on favourite to sign Dumfries. Sick of the topsy-turvy transfer window. Just wish we could be like other teams and say, yes, we're getting him and get him instead of messing. Well, again, I wish it was as easy as that, mate. I wish it was as easy as that because, you know, ultimately, look, there's financial difficulties that we know about. There'll be difficulties with probably PSV wanting some of the money up front and Everton not being able to provide that. So there's a lot of difficulties with the Denzel Dumfries deal that, you know, mean that we can't just go out and do what other clubs do and just give. Listen, if Everton were in a situation like, let's say, if Everton were in a situation like, let's say, City, where we had countless, you know, unlimited resources, unlimited money to spend, and we were able to just go and spend £100 million on players, Denzel Dumfries would be an Everton player by now, because we'd go out, we'd say to PSG, what do you want? They'd say maybe 20, 25 million. We'd go, okay, there you go, there's your 20, 25 million. And he'd be an Everton player by now. He'd have been an Everton player a week after we shown an interest in him. But Everton aren't in that situation, unfortunately. Everton can't do that. We can't just go and give 40, 50 million pounds out to clubs for players because financially we're not there. So we have to try and, you know, try and be a little bit more clever around deals and try and structure deals in a little bit more of a way, which means that we're not hit too big with financial fair play, and unfortunately maybe PSG just aren't interested in that at the moment. Daniel says, on the bright side, next summer we'll be able to spend a lot, and other teams like Villa will be, well, they've just sold Grealish for 100 million, haven't they? So that's it, that's how that team. Colin says, how can City spend 100 million on one player and we can't buy anyone? FFP, mate. FFP, or not FFP, should I say, because FFP is the European rules. The Premier League's version of FFP, I can't remember what it's called, but the Premier League have got their own financial fair play rules which state that you can only basically spend, I think you can lose 105 million over 3 years. Now, Manchester City can spend 100 million pounds on one player because Manchester City bring in an awful lot more money than Everton do in revenue every year through sponsorships, through global fan bases, through merchandise sales, through various different means of income and income streams. Manchester City make an awful lot more money than Everton do. So that's why Manchester City can go out and spend an awful lot more money than Everton can. Marty says we had money to burn a year ago now and there's none. Yeah, well, exactly. We had. Let's be honest. We've had our summers where we've spent 100 million. We spent 60 million last summer. And I'm not saying it was a waste of money or that the players didn't work out, but we spent 60 million last summer. We've had summers where we've consecutively spent over 100 million pounds. And look where it's gotten us. It's gotten us to the point where we're now looking, thinking we haven't got that money to spend. It's not like we've never had it to spend. And we're sitting here saying, oh my God, Everton are never allowed to spend money. We are. We've had summers where we've spent 110 million one year, 120 million the next year, 95 million the year after, and it's come to nothing. Daniel says, Buendia, Ings and Bailey, 98 million that is. There you go. Basic says, City won the league and got the Champions League final. That's how. Yeah, spot on. Daniel says they basically spent all their money already. Yeah, but you're allowed to lose a certain amount, aren't you? So they'll have even more to spend. Whether they will or not is a different question, but they will. Where are we then? Danboy says, if we don't sign a right back, I would genuinely play 5-2-1-2 against Southampton with Coleman or Iwobi at wing back, James in the 10 and Keane and DCL up front. Interesting. Here you go. Matt says Premier League profit and sustainability rules. Yeah, Premier League profit and sustainability rules are what the Premier League's version of FFP is. Cheers, Matt. John says, Benitez being a manager bleeds into insignificance when I go into the greatest place on earth, proper buzzing for Saturday. Yeah, spot on. Said it before, mate. I like Rafa Benitez. I'm gonna put my head on the line here, and I'm not really bothered what anybody says. I like Rafa Benitez, and to be honest, I'm made up he's the Everton manager because I think he's exactly what we need. He's hands-on. He's got a never satisfied mentality. He's always wanting more out of the players. I think he's perfect for what Everton need at the moment. Now I do anyway. Obviously beforehand I didn't think that, and now I've seen and I've read a little bit more about Rafa Benitez. I think he's what Everton need. However, even if I still wasn't completely sold on Rafa Benitez, I honestly, I wouldn't be that bothered, to be honest, because certainly given the Southampton game, I'll be bothered obviously in the long run, but for the Southampton game, I'm just focusing on getting back to the ground and watching Everton Football Club and supporting Everton Football Club. Daniel said, embarrassing if we don't beat Southampton now they've lost things. Well, it depends how they reinvest their money. They're looking at Adam Armstrong, aren't they, from Blackburn, who would be a brilliant signing for them. He's a great player. Nico says, the amount of money wasted, geez. Yeah, Damien says, it's great for them teams that furlough their staff now spending what they've saved. Here you go. Bryn says, I won't be in Delft. Daniel says, just saying, I think we will though. Sarah says, and we need quality. And Anthony says, well said, Cam. Me too, we need to back Rafford right now. Is right. Marty says, wouldn't be surprised. Last minute striker coming in, journeyman for Everton or for Southampton. Where are we then? Where are we? Anthony says, I'll be cheering, Rafa, hope no one is booing. Yeah, Anthony says, great show, Cam, you're right about the commentators haven't got a clue. Spot on. Basic says, morning, Cam, the question on everyone's lip, did you eat the orange clubs? You know what? Ned has thrown me down the river there. I never ate one orange club. Not one orange club. You know, I'll be honest. If there was a Jaffa cake in the Toffee TV studio, the likelihood is I ate it. I went through about 4 boxes of Jaffa cakes over 3 days. I'll be honest, I'll hold my hands up. If there was Jaffa cakes there, I ate it. I ate the Jaffa donuts on AOB yesterday. I ate the Zebra Twix on AOB yesterday. I'll eat most things. I'll eat orange clubs as well. But I didn't touch those orange clubs that were in the studio. Not for any reason. Just because I probably did look at them and think, I'll have them later. But we were busy and I didn't get the chance. So Ned's thrown me down the river there. And I'm seeing him tonight actually because he's performing tonight. So I'll see him and I'll have a word with him. Creepy Boy says, can't wait for the game. How you doing, Cam? I'm good, mate. I'm good. Me too, by the way. I absolutely can't wait. I absolutely can't wait to get back to Goodison Park. It's been a long time. Overdue indeed. Bright says, slow the book from here and here. Solitaire mystery. There you go. Danboy says, Mr. Benitez will be getting a big cheer from me. Is right. Where are we? Matt says, I can't wait to see the park full, even though I'm watching in the middle of the night from Oz. Is right, mate. Is right. Yeah, me too. Danboy says, going for a few pints tonight. Not going to let anyone near me. I'm not risking getting pinged. Yeah, same. Me and the missus are going out for something to eat, and I will be making sure that nobody is within any sort of distance from me. Where are we? Bright says, PS, Cam, thanks for not blocking me with the grammar and letting me comment. Obviously, mate, of course. Sarah says, where the F are these signings? Only 1 week left. We've got a couple of weeks left. I think 3 weeks left of the transfer window. 1 week left until the season. Look, again, there's been a lot of transfer windows that Everton have been a part of where we've all been sat here for, until the last week. The last, couple of days of the window, and we're all sitting here scratching our heads going, oh my God, what's going to happen? Everton haven't signed anyone. What are we going to do? This, that and the other. And then on deadline day, remember the 2013 season, we signed Romelu Lukaku on loan on deadline day. We signed Gareth Barry on loan, and we signed James McCarthy. 3 players who ended up being absolutely pivotal members of our squad for the season following. That was, one of our best seasons in recent history. So there's still a lot of time. And to be honest with you, I still think Everton will do business. I do. Damien says, can't wait to hear that noise next week instead of recording. There you go. Jedi says, Goodison Park on those rare European nights, best in Europe. Let's get back there. Spot on, mate. Spot on. Danboy says, mad to think that the last time we were in Goodison, there were question marks over Dom. Now he's an absolute goal machine. Lack of boo boys, maybe. Yeah. There you go. C-Play says, Cam, you get me excited talking about next Saturday. Is right. Damien says, alright, Cam. Mate, looks like Hammers will get an experience of full Goodison Park. Yeah, hopefully, mate. He says about AC Milan there. Yeah, look. AC Milan don't seem to be willing to want to pay the wages of James Rodriguez, or at least that's the rumour at the moment. But look, we'll wait and see on that one. Joe Scott says, Cam, the unvaccinated can attend as long as they have a negative test. Right, yes, so it's either the club have said that be prepared to present, if asked, a proof of your vaccination status or a negative COVID-19 result. So yeah, either one of those two. Anyway, there you go. Jedi says, we read that one out before. Danway says, how do you prove it, Cam? Do you bring the little testing itself? And he also says, I'm probably going to cry next Saturday, getting emotional about it already. Me too, mate. Me too. And Jedi says, I'm not a fan of vaccine passports, but it's necessary for big events and big games. In regards to how you prove it, mate, I would assume you will get a text. I would assume that when you do the test, you send off the test and you get a result back, and then you either get a confirmation email or a text, or it goes on the NHS app or something along those lines. I'm sure if you order a test or you go and purchase a test, I'm sure there'll be instructions of what to do and how to prove your results and stuff like that. There's a government website that the government website allows you to order the tests to get, and I'm sure that there'll be information on there as to regards to how to, sort of, submit your results and get the proof of your result as well. I doubt it'll be taking the test with you. But again, I don't know. It is lateral flow, Dan. Nico says enjoy it while you can. And Dan Boy says cheers for the info, Cam. I've only had one jab, so we'll do a lateral flow before 2. Do you just need to show them a photo of it as proof or something else? Again, I'm not sure. I assume that when you get a test, and I think this is the case, that when you get a test, you can submit your results into, I believe it's either the NHS app or the, into the website, and then you will get your confirmation of what your test result was, and then I'm sure you just bring the text message. It was the text message last time, wasn't it? You got a text, you got a test, and then half an hour later, you got a text what your result was, and then you just showed the text. So I think it'll be something along those lines. However, if you have any questions, Dan, or anybody else, the best people to get in touch with is Everton Fan Services on Twitter, because they'll know everything you need to know. They'll know how to prove your test. They'll know how to, again, they'll know how to get the confirmation. So if you got any other questions, I'll try and help you as much as possible. But if I don't know, like I said, Everton Fan Services is probably the best to go to, or directly to the club. Call the club up and say, listen, how do I go about this? Jeddah says they're just doing what they have to. If they didn't, they'll probably get fined or banned. I think you're talking about Everton there. And Jeddah says it's understandable. COVID is a real disease and taking necessary precautions, to be honest, for a big event. PCR test. I think it's lateral flow. That's what the club said anyway, lateral flow. But yeah, like I said, any questions about that, I'd contact the club. I don't want to give information out that mightn't be necessarily true. Marty says for backup. Creepy Boy says can't wait for the game. How you doing, Cam? I'm good, mate. I'm good. Hope you're doing well. Mill says Cam, great videos as usual. Is right, mate. Thank you very much. Says cannot wait for the emotional rollercoaster that is Everton. Hopeful for a quality season and a new level. And Liam says Barkley to Everton rumours flying around. Yeah, I don't think there's anything in Ross Barkley to Everton, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. I can't see Ross Barkley returning to Everton. He probably does want to return to Everton, which doesn't surprise me, because he's not wanted at Chelsea. Villa obviously didn't want to bring him in on a permanent after his loan deal there, so it really wouldn't surprise me if he wanted to return to Everton Football Club. But I just don't think that that'll happen. If you're enjoying, by the way, so far, please hit that like button. Does only take a second. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe as well. Really do appreciate it. Danboy says more panic buys will be a problem. Need to get it done sooner rather than later, can mate. Well, yeah, I'd agree. But we can only get deals done if we've got the facilities to get the deals done effectively, can't we? Bright says swap. Why they have the people's cash to build a ground. Don't know what that means. Green Boy says the green screen editor background is looking nice. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate that. Dan Boy says take Barkley any day, to be honest. Bags of talent, and if he's coached right, we get him focused. He'd be incredible for us. My biggest issue with Ross Barkley is it's not necessarily his talent. It's not necessarily even the way he left Everton. It's his injury record and his age and his attitude as well. I just don't think he's ever really matured, to be honest with you. I don't think he's ever. We've seen it recently of him in restaurants, getting kicked out of restaurants because of bad behaviour and stuff. This is a 28-year-old man. Grow up, Ross. He could have been, again, an England international, an established England international as well. He's got the talent to do. He's got raw talent. We saw that in that 2013-14 season. But he just hasn't showed it. I don't think he's ever grown up. And his injury record is quite bad as well. Liam says, couldn't agree more on Rafa there. Cam, perfect for us right now to get the likes up, people. Thank you very much, my mate. Really appreciate it. Matt says, are you allowed to record some Goodison Park atmosphere and load it for the people who can't make it? Or is that not allowed? I would assume so. I don't know why it wouldn't be allowed. And you can't record the game, obviously, or anything going on in the game, but the atmosphere before the game, I don't see why not. Liam says, who done it, Cam, and orange clubs? Listen, if it wasn't, it's definitely not Baz, because he doesn't like them, he detests them. So that leaves either Ped or Ned, because it wasn't me either. I doubt it was Ped. So that leaves you with one culprit there. Make of that what you will. Danwich says Barkley made his mistake. He shouldn't have left Everton. Give him a second chance. As for bad behaviour, Cam, Rafa could sort that. Fair enough. And Keeper says Barkley's wages are too high. We don't need those wages with our FFP situation right now. Fair enough. Anyway, let's get into some more of the latest Everton news and rumours then. Like we said, we all can't wait to get back to Goodison Park. I'm over the moon. I'm absolutely over the moon. I honestly can't. I just can't wait. I can't even put it into words how excited I am to return to Goodison. I really, really can't, because again, it's just it's been 16, 18 months, a long time coming, and too long, because ultimately, we're used to going to Goodison and going to watch Everton week in, week out, aren't we? And I understand that the world has been flipped upside down over the last 12, 18 months or so, and that wasn't possible. And I get all of that, and I understand that safety is paramount, and all of that sort of stuff. I get it, but now that we can return to Goodison, it's really starting to become a reality now, isn't it? And we're all starting to actually realise, do you know what? We're only a week or so away from being back at Goodison here. We're only a week or so away from being back home, which is just absolutely unbelievable. So hopefully we'll all be able to get there as safely as possible. If you've got a ticket, the tickets have gone on sale today, I believe, for general sale. Southampton, I believe, sent a load of their tickets back for whatever reason. Maybe just couldn't fill the stadium. Again, I'm not going to speak too much on that one, but Southampton sent a load of their tickets back, and I think the tickets went on general sale for members today. And I'm not too sure when it's for regular general sale. I think it might be the start of next week. So if you remember, an Everton member, and you want a ticket for the game and you haven't got one, go over there and see if you can get one today, because obviously, we wouldn't want to miss out. I honestly think this is going to be one of the most monumental days in Everton's recent history, to be honest with you, the return to Goodison Park. I just think it'll be absolutely amazing, and I really, really can't wait for it myself. So yeah, tickets, if you're a member of the club, but even if you're not a member, go over and check as to when you can get yourself a ticket if you haven't got one, and get back to returning to Goodison Park. Of course, I absolutely cannot wait myself. Anyway, let's get into some of the latest rumours and news over the last 24, 48 hours or so. We had a rumour late last night from Alfredo Pedula, who I believe is an Italian journalist. He has said that Inter Milan are interested in Moise Kean as a possible replacement for Romelu Lukaku. Duvan Zapata is said to be Inter's first choice. So there you go. We spoke about Moise Kean on Wednesday. And and obviously Inter Milan apparently being rumoured to be interested in potentially bringing Moise Kean in. It doesn't surprise me, to be honest with you. It really, really doesn't surprise me. Obviously Inter look like they'll lose Romelu Lukaku this summer if all things go to plan with that Chelsea transfer, 130 million I think it is, something along those lines. So Inter will be looking for a new striker. Inter will be looking for a new number 9, and obviously Moise Kean, Italian born, come over from obviously Juventus, said it on Wednesday. Moise Kean's main target now will be getting in that Italian squad for the upcoming World Cup. That he'll just be tunnel vision on that. He just missed out on the Italian squad for the Euros, which ultimately ended up going on and winning the Euros. So he'd have got a medal if he'd have been a part of that squad. So Moise Kean's sole sort of, I think, goals now will be to be a part of that Italian squad for the upcoming World Cup, and he'll be wanting to play as much football as possible to be able to do that. And I think Inter Milan would be a side and a club that would, if I'm being honest, I think would tickle his fancy a little bit. Maybe he'd look at it and say, no, I don't want to return to, I don't want to return to Italy. We know he had his reasons for leaving Italy, which were totally understandable. He might say, no, I don't want to return to Italy. I either want to go to PSG or I want to stick it out here and prove myself in the Premier League. We just don't know. But really, really, really interesting that Inter Milan will be interested in bringing Moise Kean in to potentially replace Romelu Lukaku. Nothing surprising, of course, but really, really interesting. Dodgebrook says, hi Cam, hi all, what's up? What's happening, mate? Hope you're doing well. John says, those upper Bullens away seats can be great. Sometimes you can get near the front, right over the pen box. Yeah. Paul says, Cam, the ticket sold out in 20 minutes, mate. There you go. So it turns out you might be able to get a ticket. Madness. Paul says, I'm hoping that when I get back into Goodison, it will be my zest for football back. Yeah, I'm sure it will be, mate. I'm sure it will be. Matt says, Moise doesn't equal Lukaku, so not really a replacement. I understand that, but he would be a replacement in the sense that he will be coming in and being Inter Milan's number 9. He'd be starting every week as their number 9, whereas at Everton, I don't really understand how he fits into this Everton team. I don't know where he starts. Does he start on the right? Don't necessarily think he's got enough pace and enough skill to play on the right-hand side of a 3 in the Premier League. Maybe I'm wrong. Look, he played there sometimes for PSG last season and was absolutely brilliant there. But I'm not convinced he'll be able to do it for Everton. Is he going to play up front? Well, he's not going to get in there over Dominic Calvert-Lewin, is he? Because Dominic Calvert-Lewin's absolutely exceptional and is our number 1 and our number 9. He's our number 1 striker. Is Rafa Benitez going to switch the team about to accommodate both Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Moise Kean? I really don't know either. So look, it's interesting. It's interesting because again, as soon as I heard Romelu Lukaku was looking to leave Inter Milan, I had a little look and think and thought, you know what? It wouldn't surprise me if Moise Kean was to, or if Inter Milan were to sort of become interested in Moise Kean here. It really, really wouldn't surprise me. So, look, they're the latest rumours. According to a couple of journalists over in Italy, Inter Milan are very much interested in Moise Kean. Whether that means they'll make a move for him or not is a completely different question. And whether Moise Kean would want to obviously go over to Inter Milan is a completely different question as well. According to the Chronicle, a rumour appeared yesterday that Tom Davies could be involved in a swap deal for Newcastle's Sean Longstaff. The rumour was played down. No. Basically, absolutely no. Look, Sean Longstaff is a decent player, but I would much rather have Tom Davies in the squad than Sean Longstaff. I think Tom Davies is a better player. I think he's more suited to the club, and I don't want to lose Tom Davies. If I'm being honest with you, I don't want Everton to sell Tom Davies. I really, really like Tom. I think he's a player that can be, very useful going forward. Really good midfielder. Is he good enough to start week in, week out? Potentially not. But he's definitely a player that is a pivotal member of this squad and an important member of this squad. And to be honest, I'm not massively impressed with Sean Longstaff. So I don't believe this rumour, to be honest with you. But if it was to be true, I would be very, very disappointed if Everton were to opt to go with that. According to Corriere dello Sport, via Sport Witness, AC Milan are no longer interested in signing James Rodriguez, despite the Colombian being welcome to a move. James' wages and physical problems over the years were enough for Milan to discard the idea. There you go. We'll have to wait and see if that one's true. That is coming from the Italian media, which again, like we said, we take with a massive pinch of salt. But especially from Corriere dello Sport, because they link Everton with about 400 players every window, and obviously we never end up signing anywhere near that amount of players. So again, take that one with a massive pinch of salt, but interesting to say the least. And there's been a couple of rumours regarding Matheus Nunes as well. Obviously, we spoke about him on Wednesday. There was a couple of journalists saying that Everton are close to agreeing a deal for Matheus Nunes. The Liverpool Echo come out and said Everton are currently not pursuing a deal for Sporting Lisbon midfielder Matheus Nunes. Benitez would like to sign another midfielder, but will likely want to sell Fabian Delph first. And Ebola, who ironically come out just before it and said Sporting Lisbon have turned down a swap deal from Everton, which involved Everton midfielder Andre Gomes moving to the Portuguese club and Brazilian midfielder Matheus Nunes going the other way. Sporting's manager Ruben Amorim was not keen on the offer. So there you go, the Echo coming out there and basically rubbishing any of the rumours we've seen over the last couple of days regarding Matheus Nunes, and basically saying that at the moment, which is basically what we've known anyway, to be honest with you. Nothing again unusual as to what we've known anyway, is that Everton haven't got the facilities or the financial freedom to go out and spend £20 million on Matheus Nunes. We just haven't at the moment. Yes, if we sell maybe a Moise Kean or a James Rodriguez, or we manage to move some of the fringe players on, then potentially, yeah, we'll be looking at Matheus Nunes and you'll be thinking, actually, do you know what? Again, go and bring him in. But at the moment, that's not going to happen, and we've known that. And we known that even when the rumours were coming out a couple of days ago, that it's very unlikely for Everton to go and spend £20 million on any player at the moment. Cplay says the tickets are still on sale. There you go. So if you need to go and get a ticket, go over there, get a ticket. If you can get to Goodison Park, I would highly recommend getting to Goodison Park, because I think for the 14th, because I think it'd be absolutely amazing. Jack Ladd says you may sell Moise Kean but not Tom Davies. Well, there's a difference, isn't he? Because Moise Kean is an asset at Everton at the moment. Moise Kean is a player that Everton could make enough money on to be able to reinvest that money into other key areas of the squad. He's also a player that has said openly before that he would prefer to be at PSG at the end of the season. He said he hopes to see PSG fans again next season, and he again, there's no guarantee he'll do a great job at Everton this season. There's no guarantee he'll even be a fully fledged player in the starting 11 week in, week out. And if he's not, then his value decreases massively next season, because he's another year down in his contract, and he's had another year where he's been in and out the team. So for me, yeah, it's a different conversation, completely. Danboy says Davis wants to be here, Keane doesn't. Simple, if we get a good fee for Keane, then sell. That lets as well, why sell a striker for a centre mid, sell a centre mid for a new centre mid? I think that's what the rumour's saying, to be honest with you, that, you know, in order for us to bring in Matheus Nunes, we're looking at getting rid of Fabian Delph first. Bright says swap, they only have cash to build. John says Davis is still improving, might get better next season. I think he will under Rafa Benitez, I really do. Danby says Moise Keane is a good player, but if we keep him and we don't use him, he loses value in another year on his contract. It's best for everyone if we sell. That's it. It's either best for everyone if we sell or we use him next season. And I don't know how Rafa Benitez would use Moise Keane next season. I really don't. If you're enjoying, by the way, please hit that like button. 140 people watching. If you could get to 50 likes before the end of the stream, that would be amazing. Please do hit that like button. It only takes a second. If you're new, don't forget to subscribe as well. Literally takes a second, and it keeps you up to date with all the latest Everton news. Jedi says, I'm really excited to see our defence development. I'm really looking forward to seeing Pickford. I think he has grown so much and gives the defence tons of confidence. Yeah, I agree. Basic Trigonometry says, not odd. Farhad has paid for the first 9 months build out of his pocket. We then secure loans for the completion of the build, no losses. There you go. Martin says, so Full House will watch us get our asses handed to us. I don't think we'll lose on Saturday to Southampton. I really don't. Some people might disagree, but I really don't think we'll lose to Southampton. Jack the Lad says, here comes to the Premier League to play here. He's come to the Premier League to play here. He was playing with Ronaldo. Come on, guys. Are you mind readers? How do you know he doesn't want to be here? We don't. But from what we've gauged from what he said, he would rather be at PSG, and that's no secret. And I'm not surprised by that. And I don't really particularly hold a grudge to him for that, because a lot of players would rather be at PSG than Everton Football Club. But there's a lot of components that go into the Moise Keane situation, isn't he? Yeah. Stephen says, roll on tomorrow. Can't wait to watch Everton live for the first time in ages. Is right, by the way. If you are going to the game against Manchester United tomorrow, I hope you all have a fantastic trip. I hope it's safe, and I hope Everton manage to get a result out of the game. It'll be very difficult, of course, but hopefully Everton can get a result. That would be absolutely amazing. Where are we then before we finish up? Let's go to the top and read some of the comments from the top. Eugene says, Everton odds on to complete defensive signing. Don't know who that is. And apparently Joaquin Carrera is waiting for Everton move to happen. Interesting. I don't think that's the truth, but interesting. Marty says, why do you think we will go for a centre forward, back up a youngster, or sign a journeyman? Probably, I'm not going to say journeyman, but probably a more experienced striker. Seaplay says, Cam, will you be going any matches this season? Yes, mate, hopefully every single match at Goodison Park, and trying to get to some away games as well. Gavin says, still no right back then, joke of a club. Let's wait and see, mate. Let's wait and see what happens in the upcoming couple of weeks. Eugene says Everton battle Valencia and Roma for midfielder. Not too sure who that is. Marty says 0 chance of a ticket unless your season ticket or buy from a dodgy website. Well, I think Everton have still got tickets on sale, I believe. Seaplay says I have 3 tickets for 3 games. I have tickets for 3 games because I know someone who gets ticket packages from Everton. There you go. Bright says, is not Cam the answer? There's no why Hammers Bay song fake smile. James Bay, sorry, not Hammers Bay. Marty says, C plays, why are ticket packages? I'm struggling with tickets. Any advice appreciated? Re-ticket, says Marty. I think you can still get tickets on the Everton website. If not, then I don't know, because I would never advise people to go and buy from resale website and spend ridiculous amounts of money for tickets that you mightn't even get. But I'm sure a couple of people in the comments were saying that you can still purchase them on Everton's website, so go and take a look. Seaplay says, because I live in Ireland, I have to get the boat over, so you get accommodation including a boat, hotel, and the Everton match for 150 per person. Very good deal. It's right, mate. It's right. Maz says it's usually around 80 quid for the ticket off the website, so that's good. Jedi says, yes, Cam, yes, my mate. You didn't talk about Messi there. Jedi says, just see Messi in the B&M by ours. It's right. Jedi says, see Messi in a full North Face on County Road. Was it the County Road B&M? Seablay says, Cam, when will Richie be back? So the final, I think, is either today or tomorrow. I think it might be today, actually. Olympics final. And then obviously he will have a rest, maybe 2 weeks rest before he returns. So you might see him. Let me have a look at Everton's fixtures, and I'll try and gauge when I think he'll be back. This isn't confirmed, by the way, in any way, shape or form, but I'll try and gauge when I think he could be back. So obviously Southampton first game of the season, then Leeds playing. You might see him for Burnley. Potentially you might see him for Burnley at home, which is on the 13th of September at 8 o'clock. Potentially, again, that's not confirmed, but that's just what I would assume. Danboy says Keane and Dom up front tomorrow. Interesting. Danboy says Richie will miss 2 games minimum. Yeah, I'd assume so. And Marty says I've booked me train ticket with no match ticket. Well, let's hope that you can get a match ticket, mate. Let's hope that you can get a match ticket, because that would be amazing. Somebody just commented there. I've lost the comment. I've absolutely lost the comment. Oh, here it is. Liam says, are you allowed to sing and shout? I heard you're not allowed to. I don't know what the rules will be on that one. I would assume that you can sing and you know, again, get involved with the atmosphere. You could do it in December when obviously it wasn't a full capacity. You could do it in the last home game of the season when obviously it wasn't a full capacity. So I would assume you can. But let's wait and see. I don't think that they'll say you can't sing or shout. Aaron says, just on my way home from Liverpool, done a bit of shopping. How you can? Is right, Aaron, is right, mate. I'm good. I'm all good. I've actually got to go into the centre of the town in about an hour or so to do some shopping myself. So was it busy? Stephen says, I bet Richarlison will be back for the second game. I doubt he'll be back for the second game, mate. Adam says, hi Cam. Hi mate, hope you're doing well. Danboy says Evertonians called the Corey older 28 and wants to sign a 34-year-old. Who's the 34-year-old? Interesting. Alex says, why are we only having pre-season games? We've had 4 so far. We played Accrington Stanley, Blackburn, obviously Millonarios and Pumas, and then Manchester United. So that's 5 altogether, which is typically probably the usual. Lavid says, when is Messi coming to Everton? Imagine it. Damien says Sanchez for 7 million affordable if we have 40-50 million at least to spend, but then do we if we can't sign Dumfries? We haven't got 40-50 million to spend. We haven't, unless we sell. We haven't got 40-50 million to spend. John says, wear a mask and nobody can see your lips move. Danboy says Richie won't be back till the end of August. Keane will play on the right. End of August minimum, by the way. I think mid-September personally, but there you go. OB Blue says, sick of the negativity of some Blues. The club's hands are tied by FFP due to past mistakes. We are in a rebuilding phase for once. We're actually trying to operate smartly in the market. There you go. And Jedi says, are you doing fantasy football, Cam? And if so, any codes for leagues? And who are you putting in? I don't usually do fantasy football, to be honest with you, mate. I don't really mess about with it, just because I can never keep up with it. And then I end up losing track of it, and it just all goes to pot. But I'll try and find a league for you. I'll ask the lads at Toffee TV if they've got one, and I'll try and sort it out. Richie won't be back till the end of August, and then Keane will play on the right. Well, it'll either be Moise Keane if he stays, and just Townsend, Damari Gray. We'll have to wait and see. Excel says, can't we use the Arteta money? Steven says, any news on Martial coming on loan? I doubt it'll happen, mate. His wages are astronomical. Absolutely astronomical. And Dodger says, if Messi signs, Cam shaves his head on the live stream. Deal. If Lionel Messi signs for Everton this summer, I'll shave my head on the live stream, mate. 100%. But it ain't happening, so I think I'm safe with that one. Anyway, look, we're going to finish it up there then. Massive thank you for watching. Really do appreciate it. Obviously, I think I speak for everyone here in saying that we cannot wait to return to Goodison Park next week. If you go into the Southampton game, I'm sure you're as excited as me. You're twiddling your thumbs. You're waiting for the game to come around, as we all are. But obviously, Everton have got a pre-season friendly tomorrow against Manchester United. Hopefully, we can go out, get a decent result. Hopefully, we can see some more of likes of Damari Gray and just Townsend. And you know, the players can hopefully, you know, again gain a little bit of fitness ahead of the start of the Premier League season next week. If you've enjoyed this one, please do hit that like button. It only takes a second, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. We'll be back on Monday, hopefully talking a bit more about the game against Manchester United, and then obviously the lead up into the Premier League season. So yeah, really interesting. Massive thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed this one, leave it a like. Don't forget to subscribe if you are new as well. John says off to watch the cricket series. Cheers, John. Really appreciate that, mate. Enjoy yourself. Anyway, massive thank you for watching, and we'll see you soon on the Mighty. By the way, before I say that, if you're watching this YouTube video, get your thoughts in the comment section down below, and we'll get involved with as many of them as we possibly can. If you're watching live, cheers for watching. Jack the Lad says Richie will be a different player this season. Carlo changed how he plays, was different playing under Silver. There you go. Jedi says thanks, Cam. Smash 50 likes again. See you. Cheers, everyone. Thank you all very much for the likes, by the way. Really appreciate it. And Damon says, see you, mate. Take care. Enjoy the match. Cheers, mate. And you too. Big thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon on the Mighty Blues.